make sure that when you meet yourself on that deathbed that you proud of who you were, you proud of what you've done, and when you go in peace. She even said that, Alua, she said that when I'm on my deathbed and when I finally take my last breath, I don't want my family, the people around me, to cry. I want them to clap because I'm dying well because I lived well. Ooh.
And I liked it.
Hola, welcome to another episode of the I Like That podcast, and I am your host, Shani Billion. Okay, so let's get right into it. I just watched the Mel Robbins podcast, and she interviewed Alua Arthur. Ooh, ooh. When I tell you this podcast really bit down on another level. Now, if you don't know who Mel Robbins is, please do your homework. She is such an inspiration to me. She is one of the highest paid speakers, keynote speakers. Her story of how she started is so inspirational. If you are looking to be inspired, if you're looking to be motivated, and definitely if you are looking to be inspired by another speaker, if you are trying to get into the speaker world, the speaker game, definitely do your homework about this woman because she is a fucking beast. She interviewed this woman who also is a speaker. She did a TED Talk, and her TED Talk was about her interaction with death. And she has a perception. Oh, excuse me. But I'm out here in the park doing my pod today, and today is record day, and these kids is definitely out here playing kickball, and we're gonna let them do what they do. So if you hear screaming in the background, these kids is out here getting how they live, and we're gonna let them be. Okay, I just gonna let that be known from what, yeah, that's what's going on. So yeah, um her TED Talk was about her interaction with death and how death inspires her to live. I did a post about my interactions with death and how it also inspired me to live. But
I just finished the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And I believe it was like the second to last chapter. The author talks about his friend dying and how this death reminded him that he needed to live, and how death is a constant reminder of life. And I really started to think to myself, I lost my best friend in 2020. Here he is. I keep him with me always. Bryn Dog. And of course, losing him hurt me. And it fucked me up for a minute. And even to this day, there's a place in my heart special for him. But what that book pointed out to me that I did, that I'm so fucking proud of myself, is that I used his death to remind me of the life that I still have. And it helped me to be a little bit more fearless in the way that I move. And if I really give a fuck about something, really give a fuck about it. Really go for it. And deep down, if I know I don't give a fuck, starve it of my energy, move on. Look, link is in the bio. Audiobook is free on YouTube.
but the way that she put it was mwah. She is a death doula. She helps people get their affairs in order in a financial way and in a spiritual way and in more ways than you can imagine. This woman is exceptional, and I really appreciate her perception about death. Questions that she recommends that we ask ourselves in regards to our life. And she said the best time to ask yourself these questions is around your birthday. So I'm gonna run a clip.
Being able to celebrate another year reminds me that I'm still here, but one day I won't be. Like, I may not see my next one. And so let me take some time to reflect. I think we need to look at all the practical things, but also start asking like the tougher questions. Like, what kind of death do I want to experience? Who do I want to make my decisions for me if I can't? How do I feel about life support? How do I feel about my life currently? Who do I need to say I love you to? Who do I need to forgive? Think about it like big picture.
I love that you do this on your birthday.
Yeah, it's a nice little ritual. It's a nice little touch.
Right? So with those questions being said, I feel like I'll give you two. Okay. Who did I love and how did I love? I feel like those are the most important two questions to me. And really taking advantage of the people that we have here with us right now. Let me give you a little bit of a backstory of my life and my interaction with death. My best friend in this world, um, his name is, let me let this ice cream truck go by because he was really, you know what I'm saying? Hurry up. Anywho, um, his name is Brennan, and he passed away some time ago. And I was forever changed by his passing. I was. And getting the understanding that you can never go back to who you used to be after somebody that you loved, somebody that was a part of your everyday life, somebody that was a part of your everyday schedule is just no longer there anymore. And you try to put forth all of this effort to get back to feeling like yourself again. Well, this is a new self that has emerged from this death interaction. And it took me some time. I definitely went through the stages of grief. Definitely went through the stages of grief. It took me some time to really fully accept, like, okay, this, that part of my life is done. That part of my life is over and it's never coming back. And it sounds so harsh, even when I say it just now. And if you're listening, if you've gone through something like this, losing a best friend, losing a parent, losing a sibling. I also went through this when my sister passed. My sister passed in 2015. And that was my real first interaction with death, with someone who was a part of my everyday life. But you think that having an experience with death before would prepare you for the next. And honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't. Um, I feel like some days are better than others, but ultimately, it definitely helped me see the life that I still have. And I believe that's what Alua was really getting at. How death really, she even said it. What's the bar she dropped? Is death is begging us to live. Death is begging you to live. Knowing that death is an inevitable knowing that death is an inevitable thing and we're all going to die, every last one of us, knowing that, having accepted that, it really puts in perspective, like, yo, I better do my shit while I'm here, live out loud while I'm here, anything, everything that I'm interested in, peek in there, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Peek up under there, see what you can see. And make sure that when you meet yourself on that deathbed, that you proud of who you were, you proud of what you've done, and you, when you go in peace. She even said that, Alua, she said that when I'm on my deathbed and when I finally take my last breath, I don't want my family, the people around me, to cry. I want them to clap because I'm dying well, because I lived well. Ooh, I'm dying well because I lived well, and I want you to celebrate that with me. Celebrate that for me and use it for your good. See that I've lived well and I've died well, and you are presented with the same opportunity. And she talked about her brother-in-law. That was the person that sparked this interest and took her through her stages of grief. This was a person that was really close to her. And even when she started talking about him, I can feel the pain still in her voice. I could see the sadness, like, in her eyes. It was like she was almost starting to cry when she started to talk about him, because he was just a part of her life, and she knew, like, that part is over and she's never going back. And it's been years. And it's been years. And she just made me feel so much better about the moments that when I talk about Brennan, when I talk about what we did, or when I think about what I did, or if I hear a song that reminds me of him, or if I drive by the place where we used to kick it and we used to live, or I talk to our friends and they say something that reminds me of him, it's like I feel those emotions come, and they come fresh sometimes, like it's brand new. And I saw that on her in her interview, and it made me feel like, okay, yeah, this is a beautiful part of life. And it's okay to be in that place, but definitely be encouraged to know that death is coming for me too. And I say that with a smile on my face, because now I'm super inspired to live. She wrote a book called Briefly, Perfectly Human. Briefly, Perfectly Human. And Mel described it as one of the most beautiful books that she's ever seen so far, as like the cover. And I saw the cover and it's beautiful. I'm gonna put it right here. It's gorgeous. It's eating it up. It's eating it up. Um, but I have not read this book yet, but she did read an insert from this book, and I'm gonna run the clip.
Looking out the window toward the cirrocumulus clouds blanketing the countryside, I think about what I want for my life and who I want to be at my death. It's the first time I'm asking myself these questions. I'm 34 years old. I realize that the Alua I want to be on my deathbed is a woman who has filled her life cup all the way up and has built a life she feels comfortable leaving. On that bus in Cuba, I feel far off from being that Alua. I'm a shell of a human with the mere pinprick of light left inside my body. I feel the heat of shame for not knowing I've been living dead for so long. My insides tighten. Looking around the bus, I take stock of the individuals aboard and wonder what end they will meet. These people are currently distracted by the daily business of living. One day, they will die. If they sensed the immediacy of life, the preciousness of it, the insignificant significance of it, what would they be doing differently now? How many unwritten books, undeclared loves, and unfulfilled dreams lie dormant here in these seats and in these bodies? Would they be content dying from the lives they live, or do they hunger for more?
I just think that that's so beautiful. And I believe that this text, this book, this author, this woman, she has a lot to offer in her perspective of death. And it has definitely sparked something within me. And it has really motivated me, to not be so hard on myself, to not be so hard on other people, and to accept my fate, and not with like fear, but like with excitement that I'm still here, excitement that you're still here, excitement that we still here. So if you have people around you that you love, you have people around you that you need to have a conversation with, you have people around you that you probably need to remove from around you, you have people that you haven't talked to in a while, people that you need, do it. Have that conversation, create that space, tell them that you love them, because nobody is promised, not you, not me. And that's the beauty of life. It really, 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 really is. um I also attacking me. I also experienced someone having a near death experience. And when he described to me his near death experience, he explained it as a very peaceful experience, a very calming, a very peaceful experience. I'm talking like this man was like on the way to the hospital, like down to feeling like he was having like his last breath. And he explained it as something being very peaceful. And that also gave me a sense of like centeredness and groundedness in this life experience. It's like We may be going through all of these different things and have all of these different point of views and have all of these differences and opinions and being opposite and opposed to each other in many ways. But in one thing that we all have in common, it is the returning. And for him to have experienced that and to explain it as it being a very peaceful experience brought real joy to me. And it still does. Even when I think about it, it was like, wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So thank you, Mel Robbins, for sharing this perspective. And I really encourage you guys to check out Alua Arthur's book. I'm definitely finna start reading this book down. I'm not gonna lie to you. And yeah, thank you for joining me. And you know I'm finna go ahead and gas you up. I'm finna go ahead and gas you up. I'm finna gas you up. I'm finna gas you up. I'm finna gas you up. You are currently seeking wisdom. And I like that. You are using death as a great opportunity to live. Did you hear what I said? You are using the certainty of death to make sure that you live every day. And I like that about you. You are beautiful inside and out. And I like that about you. When you go, you're going to be proud of yourself because you know you lived well. And I like that about you. I do. I really do like that about you. And recently, I have not been leaving you with my favorite affirmation, but I'm going to do it today. And that favorite affirmation is everything is always working out for my highest good, no matter how it looks and no matter how it feels at any point in time. I said everything is always working out for my highest good, no matter how it looks and no matter how it feels at any point in time. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you, Alua Arthur. I'm excited to read your book. And y'all know I'm going to link everything that we talked about in the description, down to the lip gloss, down to the necklace, down to the wig. I don't really know where I got this sweater, but if I remember, I'll put it down there too. Shout out to the kids who are here playing, living their life. I love y'all. See y'all next time.
And I liked it.